Now we're going to convert improper fractions into mixed numbers. So we're doing it backwards now. Last video we converted mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now I give you an improper fraction and I want you to turn it into a mixed number. How do you know this is an improper fraction? Anytime the top number, the numerator, is a bigger number than the number in the denominator, we call it an improper fraction. Okay? Sometimes when you give answers, the teacher will ask you to leave it as an improper fraction. Sometimes they will ask you to write it as a mixed number. Okay? So this is what you do. 17 divided by 5. You have to think, how many times does 5 fit into 17? So you have to think about your multiplication tables. 5 times 3 is 15, so I know that 5 fits into 17 at least 3 times, and that will make a total of 15. And if I have 17 and I only fit 15, I have 2 left. So that means this will be 3, the 3 times it does fit into 17, and I have 2 left out of 5. That's the way to do it in your head. Now this is the way to do it mathematically. What you do is you divide 17 by 5. A normal division. The bottom number goes outside. The top number goes inside. I always think of a fraction as a man riding on a horse. Now the man represents the number 17. This division bar represents the saddle where the man sits on to ride the horse, and this 5 here represents the horse. So I always think when the man gets home, he dismounts the horse, and this is the man's house, this little thing here. The division symbol is the man's house. So the man gets home, he gets off the horse, and he goes inside the house, and the horse stays outside the house. So I always know where the 17 and where the bottom number goes when I use division. And here's what you do now. You divide 5 into 17, and you say, well, 5 fits into 17 3 times, and then you multiply 3 times 5 and you get 15, right? You multiply 3 times 5, you get 15. Then you subtract, and you have a remainder of 2. And how do we write this? We write that the answer is 3. This 2 is the numerator of my fraction, and the divisor here, this 5, that's the denominator. Okay? And there you have your mixed number. Let's do example B. Same thing. 8 goes outside, that's the horse. He stays outside the house, and the man goes inside the house. 51 divided by 8. I know that 8 fits into 51 6 times because 6 times 8 is 48, and I will have a remainder of 3. So that means that this is equal to 6 and 3, which is the numerator, and your divisor is your denominator. 3 out of 8. Let's do the next example. 11 divided by 4. The horse stays outside the house, the man goes inside the house. 4 fits into 11 twice. 4 times 2, that will be 8. And when you subtract, you get a 3. So 11/4 is 2. And 3/4. The numerator is your remainder, the denominator is your divisor. Let's do this one. The horse stays outside the house, the man goes inside the house. 6 divided into 65. Well, I know 6 goes into 6. Well, I know 6 goes into 65 10 times because that will make 60, right? But let's do this the right way. 6 divided into 6 is 1, and you multiply 1 times 6. You get 6. You subtract, you get a 0. You bring down the 5. And now you ask yourself, How many times does 6 fit into 5? 0 times. 0 times, and then 0 times 6 is 0, and then you subtract and you get a remainder of 5. There's nothing left to bring down, okay? So I stop here. So this answer here would be 10. 10 is your answer. 10 times 6, which is 60, and there's 5 left. 5 out of 6. Remember, your remainder is the numerator, and your denominator is the divisor. And there you have it. That's how you convert an improper fraction into a mixed number. Now I want you to practice. I want you to do 16 over 3 and I want you to do 38 over 4 76 over 9 and 68 over 3. Okay? Do these in your notebook, hit pause, and then when you're ready, come back and look at the answer. Here are the answers for your practice problems. First one, we divide 16 by 3, you get 5, and you have a remainder of 1. So that's your numerator, and your denominator is the divisor. For the second problem, notice I wrote 9.5. When I divide 38 into 4, 4 fits into 38 9 times. That gives you 36, and you have a remainder of 2. So my answer would look like 9 2/4. But this fraction part here, this I can reduce, and I can divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2. And that will give me 1/2. So the real answer would be 9.5 because I can reduce 2/4. That's why I wrote 9.5. And all the other problems, it's the same procedure. You divide and then you write your remainder as the numerator and your divisor as the denominator. I hope you understood this. In class you will practice. You will have a worksheet converting improper fractions into mixed numbers. I will see you in the next video.